Good evening, everyone. It's wonderful to have you all here today. Before we start our session with our esteemed speaker, I want to quickly introduce myself. My name is Afrin Gaur, and I'll be moderating today's session. I want to take a moment to thank Surat sir, Kamla ma'am. Many of you might not be aware of the impact that Surat sir and Kamla ma'am have in our lives. They have been the backbone of our journey, always there to guide us with their wisdom. Also, a huge thanks to our IIC and SPC members. They do much more than just organizing events. They are striving hard to make our future bright. You all might not be aware, but they are working tirelessly behind the scenes. Now let's get into the fun part. Today we are delving into a session called Beyond Borders, charting your path to higher education abroad. Higher education abroad. And guess what? We have got the perfect guest to guide you on this adventure, Mr. Bairi Manoj Srinivasa Perumal, a shining example of academic and professional excellence in the international arena. Mr. Manoj is currently pursuing his master's degree in power and energy engineering at Aalto University, Finland. His journey from India to Finland shows the profound impact that studying abroad can have on personal and professional growth. Mr. Manoj's academic pursuits are driven by his deep interest in system drives, digital control, renewable energy, and the integration of data science into these fields. So, are you ready to get inspired and maybe even find your own path beyond borders? So, please, if so, please join me in giving a warm virtual welcome to Mr. Manoj. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. Manoj, sir, the virtual floor is yours.
Hi everyone. I hope my audio and video is clear.
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Yeah, it's great to be here on this evening, and I will share my screen now. And thank you for the warm welcome. So I have a short presentation on the admission process for the higher education in abroad. So basically, I just want to share my experience, what I experienced while starting to search for in universities to do my master's. Not only I explored the abroad universities, not I also explored the Indian universities to search for my master's. But then I decided on joining abroad. That's a different story. And here is a small overview of what I went through, and I think this will help others as well to take this as some kind of example and or steps to follow. So I think let's delve into these steps. So first, what I did was like shortlisting the universities. So what I mean by shortlisting the universities is you will have a domain. For example, take my case. I had interest to pursue masters in electrical, and basically in motor drives is a separate topic in electrical. So like that, everybody will be having a major domain and a minor in that which you have to proceed your masters on. So take that topic and surf the web. Now we have everything in our fingertips, right? So we have many portals that list out all the universities that give these courses as masters, and they have every detail they want, and they will also provide the link to the direct page. So by going through all those portals, I discovered like many universities all across Europe. My focus was in European country, so that's why I focused in Europe. But you can get all the details for US, Europe, as well as like Australia, wherever you want to go. So going through all these things, I created an Excel stating the country plus the major program and the university as well with the link. And then I updated that Excel as well. So we will talk that in the later part. So after shortlisting this, you will also see what is the criteria to apply. So there will be documentation criteria, first of all, and then there will be an entrance exams criterias. There will be two kind of entrance exams. For example, one is we all know IELTS or like TOEFL, which is an English language exam. The second one is some programs might have an entrance exam for them. Like there will be some minimum criteria that needs to be achieved. Like if there is an 100 marks test, you need to get something like 33 or like above 30 just to apply. And they will mention whether this has an adapt on the admission process as well. So everything will be found in the page of the program. So after seeing the exams requirements, you can start preparing for those exams. So some universities may not need GRE, some may not need IELTS or TOEFL. So you have to first select the universities, like we are still in the universities. So in those universities, you will have some exam requirements. So select that and prepare accordingly. So I have seen an example as well. So my friend, she started preparing TOEFL, but the universities that she was planning to apply required IELTS plus GRE. So she gave TOEFL and it was like for actually for literally nothing. So with the TOEFL, she couldn't apply for the university she aimed for. So that's where I learned my lessons. So I think this will be useful for you guys as well. So second is the most disturbing part, like applying and waiting for the results. So while applying, we should get the documents that whatever they needed. So even I missed some documents that needed to be applied for a German universities. So I couldn't apply for German universities at all. So I know they updated it actually in January of 2023. I took all the documents list in November itself. So I missed that while applying. I saw that there was a new criteria. So check it regularly, like at least 2 months once if you're planning from a long time. So that would be one thing to note as well. So keep all the documents ready, like SOP. Some documents are like very common for all the universities, like statement of purpose, which states like what is your motive behind pursuing this master's degree and why specifically our university you want to come, and then why specifically this program you are selecting, and maybe country as well. So there are so many templates available online that you can see, like there will be some set of questions. If you just answer those questions, you can form a rough draft for your statement of purpose. Then you have to fine tune it. uh, I was not that confident in English, and this is like one of the main document that will be needed for your admission process. So they will take there's the SOP as a weightage, like more than 20 to 30 percentage. So I had my friends help. We formed a gang of like 2 to 3 people, and we actually refined my SOP specifically. They were like Toastmasters, and so I was fortunate to have them as friends. Pick your friends, and then you can also do that. You have to get all the help that you need. It's not a problem. And yeah, you have to I applied 1 week before the deadline itself. Like I don't wait till until the deadline or just that night, because many of us may not be used to this time difference.
Sir, I would want to know a little more about the SOP. Like, what should we keep in mind, or how should we prepare that? What
Yeah,
are the points to
SOP.
keep in mind, especially?
Yes. So SOP is a statement of purpose. It's usually abbreviated as SOP. So as I stated, like it's kind of a motivation letter. So you have to start. The contents should be like what what is your motivation behind this? For example, take a university like Finland University Aalto. So you are applying for an electrical program. So the basic criteria is like for a master's program. So basic criteria would be like you should have some knowledge in electrical as well. So when you are writing the SOP itself, some that thing can be observed by the choose people who is choosing the applications. So you should keep in your mind like uh, what is your motive behind masters? Why are you not going for a job after your bachelor's program, or why are you not pursuing other routes? Why are you pursuing this master's route after you complete your bachelor's program or your high school or something? So you will have many routes to pursue. So just the core theme of the SOP should be like, why are you pursuing a master's program? Then you refine that question. Why specifically this university, this program? and what is it, why are you choosing this domain as well. So if you focus, the theme should be like this, but you can take the flow of the SOP in your own way. That's what makes your SOP yours. So it should be like you convincing that person. So stating by movie quotes like "sell me this pen," something like that. But you don't have to be that serious. You can just be you and write why you want to do this. And the other important document and a common document is a letter of recommendation that can be obtained from your professors in your university, or like if you are working and then you are pursuing, then you can get from your managers, or if you have done an internship in some companies while you are doing your bachelor's or in your university, so you can get LOR from them as well. So it specifically states like they are recommending you for this master program. So the contents they can decide, and you both can sit down and like decide what the content of the LOR should be. LOR is a letter of recommendation, just clarifying. Yeah. And then transcript. Recently, my friend, like I was helping a friend in LinkedIn, like he completed his master's before like 2 to 3 years before. And now he is working and he's in a different country, and he needs to get the transcript and everything from Velur in Tamil Nadu. So he has to come to Velo to get that because his internal portal and everything is the credentials are deleted. So he has to come, or else so plan those accordingly. That's what I'm saying. Like if before applying, so that's if you take a list of the documents that you needed, it will be very useful before applying. So next is the one of the interesting parts, announcement of results. So it usually takes around like all the applications in Europe opens during the month of November. In US as well, they open it in December also. Most colleges, some are exceptions, but most of them open in November itself, and most of them close during April. No, most of them in Europe actually closes in March itself, and they announce results by April last. So my university announced it last week. So most of the countries in Europe announces it within April, so they will give most time. And as well as in US universities also, by end of in second week of May they will announce the results. So they will give you some extra time, 2 to 3 months to visa preparations and everything. So that's why. So the next part is like finding connections. What I mean by this is after you get your results, some may be fortunate to go into many universities, so you may need a refinement step in between. So I did get admission in many universities. What are the things that I looked to refine the select one particular university and accept the offer is one is like main thing is living cost. There are websites available that will give you an average living cost for each country and each city. It's just one Google text away. And then second is the company industrial opportunities after completing my master's. Uh, Third is I actually kept the ranking as one criteria, university ranking, but that is a subjective. I feel like that's a subjective ranking after going through many things. So if you want, you can keep the ranking as well. So these are like some basic 3 steps, or like you can have more steps to refine if you get more than one university admissions. So yeah, coming back to the finding part, finding connections. I mean, after you get confident and select a university that you'll be going within a 3 to 4 months, so you can start looking for people who are studying in the university as a connection and network with them. So which will make your job way easier, like the visa process and the other processes related to the university. It will make it way easier. Initially we may not understand small things, and it will be like very silly to mail them uh, and ask them, and we may forget that eventually So you can just have some connections in the LinkedIn, and or you can get the WhatsApp number or something if they are willing to give you. So you can text them. So that's how I did it. I just put a filter in LinkedIn saying like from VIT Velur. I did my bachelor's from VIT Velur. So I just searched for people in Alto program and put a connection. Also, they did their university studies in VIT Velur, so that I will have something to talk to. So initiate the conversation. So I did those things and found like 2 to 3 people, and they gave me a link of WhatsApp group of people from India who are doing their masters in Finland. So that was like a huge gift. So I can post some silly questions like what is this like here in Europe, if you take everything will be in their regional languages. So Germany will be in German, and like in Finland it's Finnish. So it's like some KK will be there, like rent slash KK is there. So I didn't even know what KK is. It means months in Finnish, it seems. So I can't like mail the university and ask KK. I can, but it will take so much time and they will feel, I don't know, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I just did silly things to them. So that was a huge gift. And most of the university countries have that, because my friends are studying in Europe. So Netherlands has one group, like, and Germany has multiple groups. So you will get that eventually if you find some people. So and yeah, then one of the most important step is like financial preparation. So there are like inbuilt scholarships or in most of the programs is there. So if some may get scholarship and some may not, but after you get the admission, it will be stated in your admission letter that whether you have the scholarship or not, or if there are more criteria, like more methods for scholarship, like Alto has like 3 methods for scholarship, and 50 percentage waiver and 100 percentage waiver and so on. So everything will be mentioned in the admission letter itself. So after that, you can proceed with your financial preparation. If you have a full scholarship, then you don't have to worry, or else like how you should have some amount in your bank account. Yeah.
So, what are the ways to bag these scholarships? And if you have any scholarship, would you like to share some of your experiences? Because many of the students might want to know about this.
Yeah, sure. I was about to say more about scholarship. Yes, I will continue. Yeah, I got a full scholarship. Like most of the like Scandinavian countries, what I mean is like Northern Europe countries has many different scholarships. Like Alto has like 3 different type of scholarship, meaning 50 percentage waiver in the tuition fee, 100 percentage, and then there is this Finland scholarship called 100 percentage waiver plus 5,000 euros as a grant. So so obtaining this scholarship is somewhat, I would say, like a somewhat difficult process. So they will evaluate while selecting the applications for, I think they will have some threshold of people to give scholarship. So only those top people, I guess they are giving. I don't know the real process, but I assume this is the process. Yeah, so you should have a strong profile. What I mean by strong profile is the profile while applying for masters includes not only your CV, it also includes how your SOP is done, letter of recommendation, from whom those letter of recommendation is given, what academic or like industrial status do those persons who are giving the LOAs is having. So and then yeah, what are the contents in your CV does matter, and your what is in your transcript, what marks is also there is a weightage like 10 to 15 percentage weight is for CGPA is there, and then CV, different kind of works you have done, whether you have done some projects or like interesting hands-on works have you done. So if you have done projects, do explain them in your SOP with a short 2 to 3 lines, and what do you feel about that project, and what were the difficulties that you had while doing those projects as well. Those do matter, like in the SOP as well. So yeah, these are the some points that I do remember that will influence the scholarship. But if you don't see any scholarship in the official university page, you can search for the country's scholarship. There are some scholarship for each specific country as well. So Denmark has like Denmark scholarships, and US. I keep on speaking about Europe, but this applies to all the countries. US, Australia, and everything is a more or less similar process. So my mind is fixed with the Europe thing, so that's why I'm speaking about only about Europe. Sorry about that, but this applies to every country. So yeah, you can search for the country scholarship, and even after coming here, I came to know that even in India, scholarship is there. In India, there is a scholarship program that provide money for people who goes to abroad for do their masters. So that also you can actually look into.
So is this scholarship for every nationalist of that particular country, or it will be only after you clear those lines of like they want, or is it for all the countries? Like if I'm from India, suppose I'm from India and I'm applying for it, so will I be getting that scholarship no matter what, or is it that
Yeah,
I have to come under that?
it's not like that because if you take actually again coming back to Europe, most of the European countries they don't charge tuition fee for their citizens. So scholarship is like a concept for other than their country citizens. So if I'm an Indian and applying for the European universities, so then only the scholarship part comes into play. If you take Finland, there is no tuition fee of it's actually €0 for their citizens who has a resident like permanent residence here. Now, so that's scholarship is for other country people actually. Yes. So yeah, it is also within Europe is also there. Like people from Germany who are applying for Finland can get scholarship as well. So that's also there. It's only those people who has a permanent residence in that country have don't have to pay any tuition fee. Yeah. So
So,
those are the some points about scholarship and financial preparations. Do apply for if you are applying for the loans and everything, apply it beforehand. So it is a time consuming process. So next is visa application process. So this step, if they are releasing their result within May, so this till the step 6 could be done within May, and you should have applied for the visa by the end of May, because uh, the visa decision process, and after you get approved for the visa and getting that permit in your hand will take a lot of time. So this has a huge impact on starting your academic year. My friends who has applied for Poland and they got everything and everything is done, but their visa and the residence permit uh, is still pending, and they couldn't start their academic year next this year. So they are supposed to start from Jan, and this is April. So still they are in India. So they delayed it so much. So don't make that mistake. And visa application process will have their separate list of documents that needs to be provided, and it varies with each country to country, and their immigration website will have a clear idea and clear documentation steps. Everything is provided in every country's immigration websites. So if you take Finland or like Sweden and like Germany. So their immigration websites are so clear, and they even have a YouTube channel and explaining what are the steps to be followed. And if you are, there may be so many categories of visa as well, even for students. So there may be so many categories, but they do have a clear outlay of everything that you need to know in their websites. Do visit their website, spend some time reading those, going through every line in that website, because once this visa gets cancelled, missing some documents or something, so it is a huge process to apply it again.
sir, and one more thing, is there any CGPA criteria like uh, should have a student should have a particular above a particular CGPA can only apply?
You mean for the whole program itself?
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't come up on like a minimum CGPA actually to apply, but there is a minimum score on the IELTS or GRE, whatever, like language exam you are going to give. There will be some minimum criteria. So that's you can see those everything in this stage. You have to see those everything in this stage before preparing for your exams itself. So then only you can aim to secure those marks in language test. But recalling, I haven't seen any, and I haven't heard from my US who are doing masters in US as well. I haven't heard something like there is a lower limit on like the CGPA to apply itself. There may be a limit to have the scholarship, but that's like a back end process. We may not know that, but there is no minimum required CGPA to apply actually. If there is one, they will definitely mention it in the page.
Yeah, I agree with Manoj. So I have also had somebody in my family apply and get admission to a university outside India. But a good CGPA always gets their attention, right? So
Yeah.
that is something definitely catches your eye. But at the same time, like Manoj is saying, that is not the only criteria. That is just one of the criteria, right? So yeah, having a good CGPA always helps. That is what I would like to say, right, Manoj?
Yeah, that sure helps.
Yeah,
Who
it
doesn't
really
want a
helps.
scholarship?
Then
And
that alone is also not going to help.
yeah,
They
yeah,
want to see you participate in a wider range of activities, right? Taking on leadership roles and taking, getting your skills updated, not just, pile on a few certificates and assume that, okay, I have this, now I'll get admission. That is not what, especially universities are looking for, outside India. So, see, CGPA generally, out of 10, anything above 7 is a good CGPA, right? Anything 7, 7.5 is a good CGPA, given that you have participated in many other activities also. They will take a look at how well you have balanced it, right? That plays a big role, I feel. Okay. Yeah, Manoj, go ahead, please.
yeah. Yeah, I completely agree with you, ma'am. This outside India, I don't know about India as well. I will speak as a whole. They for admission, they look as a overall picture, like not only the certificates. Even though if we have certificates, whether we have done some projects. For example, say I have a certificate in quantum computing, and I list no project or no, there is nothing related to quantum computing in my CV, SOP, or in my academic background. So it's just a sheet of paper. So they won't validate it. So if you have like some many certificates in different domains, or like many certificates in a single domain, and you don't do anything to validate those, or like to experience what it is when applied in a project. So it's like actually you can't use that. It won't be matter well those people who are looking in your application to select you. So just concentrate on the overall picture, like not only uh, these subjects, or like do hands-on work as well, but these do matter so much. CV like CGPA will have an impact 30 to 40 percentage for sure in selecting, and in scholarship it has more than 40 percentage. So you have to concentrate on your CGPA as well.
So, sir, basically, projects are more important, and then, hello,
Then
am I audible?
yeah, yeah, you're audible. So yeah,
So, sir, we should
projects.
more focus. We should have our focus more on some good projects.
Yeah, that's what I feel. That's because if you see many universities doesn't have an entrance exam like we do in India. So they cannot evaluate your knowledge only based on like transcript. It will be courses and marks. So that has an impact. The marks always have an impact. But to get an see, you will be getting like thousands of applications for each program, for each major. So if you have to stand out from the viewpoint of the people who is selecting the applications, so you need to have something different than the marks, and something different and also it helps. So if you put all these into equations, I feel like that equates to projects. So you will get a more knowledge, and you have to also explain some points of or something that in your CV as well as in your statement of purpose document or motivation letter document as well. So then only they will get to know, yeah, you have actually done something that you have studied. So that's actually a criteria for doing masters as well. So in bachelor's we just do the theoretical things. In masters it's like applying what we learned and learning from those practical experiences, right? So that's why I'm maybe speaking more about projects, giving more important to projects. Projects, I don't only mean like something you have to do a hands-on. So it can be projects is hands-on projects is the taking up some kind of leadership roles or like some lead initiating roles in your chapters or clubs in your universities. Something like that is also like showing like you are a team player or something like you are open to other people, helping other people. This everything is matter. That's what the overall picture is up matters when you are applying for applications in for masters outside India or abroad. Yeah, yeah. So the visa process, we were in visa process, I guess. So yeah, so if you have to go through each line by line because this is like dealing with government now. We were dealing with a university that's a small scale in in a country in a city, but this visa is like you will be dealing with government, so government of that country. So it's like somewhat more important than the application process. So if you kind of unfortunately mess this process up, so all these process would be have to go on to be waste, unfortunately. So this is where you focus more after getting an admission. So go through all the lines and the documents required, keep everything ready, apply beforehand itself. I would advise you to apply within May. So that's what I did. And after that, the process will be stated accordingly, and it differs for every country to country. What is the actual process after applying and after applying the visa? So how would you get it and what you have to get it? So everything varies. So take a look on their immigration website. And while you do it, you also have to take care of the accommodation. So most of the universities doesn't have hostels like we do. So it is like a separate accommodation that we have to take care. We have to pay a monthly rent and so on and so forth. So you also have to start applying for this accommodation or like getting getting to know. That's where the connections help you out. So you can get information from the connections as well as the university website pages also will clearly state what you have to do. Is there any student associations helping you with this process? And or is there any organizations in the country that help students in general to get a accommodation? So if you need a place that's close by to your university, so you have to start it parallelly with the visa process. So then you have a higher chance of getting it with low rent as well. So if you need a like a bit cheap and best place which is also near to the university, start the process in the May itself parallelly with your visa process. And then yeah, the most important interesting part, so pack and prepare for the move. Yes, so in this also the people or the groups or the people that you made friends in while while after you get in the step 5 will help you a lot. So we may not know what is available there. So this process, everything is done and we are safe. We have a master's admission now and everything. So after going there, you have to survive for at least 2 years while you finish your master's. So the first 1 month might be hard if we don't know what's available there or like what will be in the house or in the country, food, everything, food and clothing, everything, right? So you can get help from the people or there is like some universities also have these apps. Like there is this app called Unibuddy and Going. So this will be mentioned in your admission mail itself. They will give you like two ambassadors or like the persons, official helping persons that the university has to help people smooth these processes out. So those also might come handful helpful. And yeah, if you look, you can get many things. So you just have to look. So that's it. These are the most what I consider as a steps going forward. And yes, and thank you for listening to this lengthy. I hope this gave you some useful information.
Yeah, absolutely, Manoj. In fact, the universities, they also, they I think they have an orientation session sort of thing, right? Where they will explain to you. Some universities do that, right? Where you can listen to them and then also ask questions as to
Yeah.
what to expect when you get there and so on, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That
So,
So when you get the admission letter, after getting the admission letter, you will be getting a series of emails from the university helping you out in these steps of 6, 7, and 8. So they will send you like some kind of newsletters or like some emails uh, where they will also list these events links. So for example, getting to know about the university in general, like helping out with the housing processes in the country and something like and the program in general. So they will also conduct many pre-orientation sessions for you to ease out these processes and smooth your onboarding
right,
process.
right. So one question I'm seeing again and again from, I mean, people ask me also, right? Um, so you are probably the right person to answer this. Why a university abroad?
Yeah.
We see
So
we have many good universities in India. Why did you choose to go outside?
yeah. So yeah, in the beginning, I also mentioned like I was looking into Indian universities as well. So I feel like I will come to my decision in the end. What I feel like many people why considering is it has become a tradition because in the 80s and the 90s, like our parents or our uncles have started going for masters in abroad or they have gone to abroad through their IT job and their lifestyle is very different and many people get like to this lifestyle and during those days what I consider people went to abroad because the standard of education was really different from Indian education and the abroad universities in Europe or US. But now uh, in while I was selecting my master university, I don't think so there is a huge gap. There is, of course, a gap because of the cultural and regional things in the education. It affects the education system as well. But I don't think so. The quality of education is so different. Like, it's not like this is like some Indian institute education is like some 50 and like it's 100. That's not like so like gap is there. That's what I feel. That's my personal opinion, first of all. So you can speak with more people and get your own opinion also, or like do your own research. So yeah, coming back, why I went is like I'm more of like a people like interacting person, and I want to experience this multicultural education thing. So that's Europe is a best place to do that. Uh, In many of the US countries also, you may not have like a multicultural study environment. Europe has like people from all over the globe. So that's why I personally choose. The education system also has some importance while choosing, but I personally chose because of this thing. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, Manoj, you answered the question. And one thing I would like to ask from my side is, I was very enthusiastic personally. So you had done your bachelor's in IIT Madras, an air of one ranking institute in India, and now you're in England, so we're in Finland and doing masters in Finland. And most of us might know Finland is one of the best country to do masters in. It is known for the education, the quality education that is having. So how would you compare IIT Madras and how would you compare it to the education that you're having in Finland? I know that I had put you on a hot spot, but I would like your comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do the comparison. Yeah. So as I said, like, yeah. So the courses, I wouldn't say like there is so much different in the content or the way the professors teach. There are some differences in how they assess and then how the courses is going, like flow of courses. So if you know, take Aalto University in Finland, many, I would say like many courses are not theoretical. So for the electrical people, they may know the transformers, or like everybody knows transformers, but inside what are the principles of the transformers, we have a course of design of electrical machines. So we learn the theory, but the exam or the rubrics for evaluation is uh, like we go to the lab and we wind the transformers, like we make the transformer from scratch from just a sheet of metal. And that's like an independent like job that we have to do based on the theory that we learned. So yeah, there will be persons who are guiding us as well. And that's what I feel the difference is when you start to compare, not the quality, the flow, I would say. Personal opinion though.
So what
Yes,
is
of
your
course.
plan after masters?
So my plan is to do PhD here. And PhD, why PhD? Yeah, I haven't decided on PhD, but that's 70% of my plan is to do a PhD here and
Okay.
then come back to India, become a professor.
Oh, fabulous. So let's be in touch, okay? Come back to IIT.
Sure, I wish. Let's hope.
Or at some point, all of you start a company, come back and hire from our students.
Sure, sure. That's like my one aim is like I had many good professors and many bad professor. That's again subjective, very subjective. Uh, so that's why my like my career goal is to become a good professor, the one that I expected when I needed one.
So
Excuse
that's a
me,
very
sir.
good,
Can I ask a
very good,
question?
very good ambition. Yeah.
Thank you,
Yeah, go
thank you.
ahead, go ahead. Moderate, please go ahead.
Sir,
Okay,
my
sir.
question is that can we work while doing our masters in like foreign so that we can pay our own fees?
Yeah, you can very much do that. There will be three options. Broadly classifying. One is you can work with the shops or the cafe and the supermarkets here, like a cashier or like a delivery person. The second option is work in your university where you are doing your masters. There will be openings in as for job positions called research assistants or teaching assistants. So research assistant is where you help the professors or the PhD students in their projects. A small task will be given to you and you will be getting a monthly payment for that task. It will be a part-time job. And teaching assistant is basically you help the teachers to evaluate the answers of the students or like to prepare materials for the lectures and so on. So, and the third option is the industry. Of course you can start applying with your bachelor's degree or like with your current CV after coming to after starting your master's program as well. So in industry also, if you get one, it will be a part-time job. So they won't I haven't seen anybody getting a full-time job in industry with just their bachelor's program degree, because you are doing your masters. That's also they consider that. And doing a full-time job along with your masters is not advisable. So summarizing the options, like one is like doing the job, part-time job in other like cafes or like supermarkets and something. Second is doing a part-time job in your university. Third is doing part-time job in industry.
Sir, another question I have that, sir, you said that you were in electrical engineering, right? So you actually, for electrical engineering, I think you actually need to work in a lab. So, sir, how did you get a lab project in your undergraduate to actually add to your CV or resume, sir?
So yeah, in my bachelor's program, after third year, I contacted my professor regarding doing an hands-on project or like helping him on his research topics or something like that. So he was actually working on a research topic. So I started as helping him out in his research topic in the lab, and then we eventually published a paper on, and I was helping him write the paper as well. So I was an author on that paper. So in my fourth year, I worked on the capstone project, so which helped me a lot to get hands-on small projects in which I did in the lab. So you just have to approach your professors. I think they will be more than welcoming to help you do some hands-on work.
So
Okay,
basically,
thank you, sir.
UG projects, these are important, like working under some research,
Thank you, sir.
UG research.
Sorry,
Hello,
I couldn't get your question.
sir. What you are recommending is a UG research project under some professor.
Yeah, yeah.
So, sir, we have some questions here from students. So, the first question that we have is, would you recommend learning Finnish? That is the language of Finland, Finnish, or the language of the country we are planning to study in? This is a question.
Yeah, that's obviously will help you a lot. For example, if you take Germany, so before applying itself, the German language will have some influence on your admission process as well. That's what I would say. Germany is like somewhat an outlier in that. Uh, but other than Germany, you don't need language, the regional language for application purposes. But after once you reach there and you start your master's program, it's not compulsory or mandatory to learn the regional language, but it will help you a lot if you know some basics or at least show interest in learning the language, of course. So from academic or like industrial side, I wouldn't say it's a mandatory one, but you are living in that country and you might require that in one way or the other. For example, just take uh, some cities in India as well. So if you travel from being a South Indian, so if you travel for northern cities in India, so if you know Hindi and the other person doesn't know Hindi, so you obviously can make a understanding, right? So the same situation applies here as well.
Okay, sir. So,
Good evening.
Yep.
Hello.
Good
Um,
evening.
I wish to know for the visa process, you did it by yourself or took guidance of any agencies?
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking of mentioning that. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't take any like help from the agencies or like consultancies because um, I wanted to do it myself in the first part, and yeah, I'm a kind of person who likes to like if I did it myself, I think it will be good. So visa process and everything, yeah, I just did with myself and with the help of my friends. Yeah. I think it's doable. Like most of my friends didn't, or like people that I know who did their masters, didn't go for the consultancy or advising persons.
Manoj, thanks a lot. And since the beginning of the session, like when we reached out to the students who had been to abroad, Manoj is the first person who have been very active since the point, and from then till now, he has been very active and enthusiastic about it. So he has been enthusiastically preparing PPT for it, and he's having examinations right now. And I should mention that in between examinations, he made a time space for us, and given his time and given his inputs and his insights for us all throughout the time. So I was very happy for Manoj being participating in this live interactive session and providing his insights for us. Thank you, Manoj. Thanks a lot. And we hope we would be interacting soon for more sessions. We would be getting more insights from you. We would be staying in connect with each other. So thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you,
Thanks a lot on
Hamish.
behalf of SPC, IIC, and all the IIT and BA students.